Hey everybody, it's Godzilla Gamer 77, and today we're going to take a look at the Sh Monsterarts Godzilla 2000. And without further ado, let's go. So this figure was released around 2013, and this figure was actually the first Godzilla figure I ever got. So this figure holds a little bit close to my heart, and a lot of people like this figure. So does it still hold up today? Well, let's see. So starting off with the sculpt, you can tell this figure looks absolutely breathtaking. So starting off with the head, you can see some of that really good scaling detail. That's probably one of my favorite things about this figure is the scaling detail that they did. And that looks really great. You can see with the ears, they're very prominent. You can really see them. They're also kind of sharp. Coming down to the eyebrows, he has a really scowled look, like he's really angry. Side, you still got the same thing. And the eye, ooh, I love the eye here. When you look at it from the side, it's like really cool, and I think they did a fantastic job. But when you look at him dead center, he kind of just has this derp look. But if you pose him like this, I think he'll look great. Coming down to the mouth, you can see some of that same great detail going on there. Again, the teeth, I think, look really good on this figure. Individually sculpted. I love the front two teeth. I think that looks awesome. It's a little hard to see, but the tongue is it's a little hard to see, but the tongue looks really good. I think it's just really hard to see, but I think they did a great job in the mouth as well. And coming down to the rest of the neck, it has this like gill presence to it, kind of like how it did in Godzilla 2000. That looks also fantastic. Coming down to the chest, we get some of that same awesome scaling detail. Also, it has this little paint. The paint here kind of goes a little bright, which I think is kind of different, and I think that looks good. And the charcoal gray they use for this figure is great. I really love the charcoal gray. They did a fantastic job with the paint apps here. Coming with the hand, they have a really nice bright paint app here. It's got some yellow, and I really like the way that looks. The fingers have a sharp looking sculpt to it, and they actually are kind of sharp too. You gotta be a little careful with this figure. It has some sharp paint apps on it. Coming down the legs, get some of that awesome scaling detail, and it's got a really rough texture to it, and I still think they did an absolutely fantastic job with that. And the knee also has a little bit of a brighter paint app there, giving a little bit more highlight. It's more of a bright brownish looking color now, more than I look at it. Coming down the foot, you get some of that same really good sharp sculpt going down with the nails. Also got that bright yellow, and also has a little bit of a brighter orange back there. It's a little hard to see, but they did a fantastic job there. Coming down to the spines, it has this really nice purple to it. And the thing I like about it most is like the purple isn't too prominent. I think that they blended it perfectly with some of this gray that they did here. Also has this really awesome jagged sculpt to it. I think that is probably one of my favorite things about this. It's just the way how they did the spines is just fantastic. Also got some great detailing going on right here through the middle of the spine. That looks great. And if you look at it closely, some of the more spines are in more scattered places to just really make it look a little bit more jagged, and I think that looks amazing there. And again, I just can't get over the fact how amazing the sculpt is on this figure. It just looks so beautiful. Coming down the tail, you get some of that more same purple scaling going on, and it gradually starts going smaller till you get to the very end of the tail. And the underside is basically just a much smoother part of the tail, and that also looks really great. And so yeah, overall the sculpt to this figure is absolutely fantastic. Now onto the articulation, and this figure is absolutely loaded with articulation if you know Sh Monsterarts. So starting off with the head, you can make him look about this far down if you include the neck, and you can make him move side this far left and this far right. It has a great range of motion. Coming down the jaw, you can move him down about this far. You can also move the tongue in there too, which I like that detail a lot, but I don't really move it too much. Coming down to the chest, we get some of that. You can look this far down. You can make him look about this high up if you really try. Coming down to the arms, you can move it about this high up and this far down. You can try a full 360. I haven't tried that, but I'm not going to because I don't want to break him. Coming down the arm, you can come about this far down, this far up. You can also swivel. Coming down on the wrist, there's a swivel here, and it's also on the ball joint, so you can twist this in and out. Coming down the legs, you can move about this high up and this far back. And it's a little bit stiff because of the scaling on there, but you gotta be a little careful when it comes to that. Coming down to the knee, you can move about this far back and this far up. Also coming down to the lower part of the knee, you also get a little motion here and a little motion there. And also the foot, you can move it this far down and this far up. You can also tilt. Coming out of the tail, this entire tail is articulated. Like, even the very tip of this tail is articulated. Like, most Sh Monster Art figures, they stop about right here and just one big piece after that. Not here. This entire tail is just multiple segments moving at once. And on the one hand, that's really great for posing, while on the other hand, it can pop off really easy, just like mine. Like, if you move it, won't come off now, but most of the time, it will pop off really easily if you're not too careful with it. But I really like the fact that it's fully articulated around here, and it gives it a great range of posability and flexibility if you want to get him in some more crazy poses. And overall, the articulation of this figure is amazing. Overall, this figure is absolutely fantastic. It's a solid recommendation for me for its amazing sculpt, awesome articulation, and overall just being a great figure. This is how I started on Sh Monsterarts, and I think it's a great figure to start out with. While the original version is pretty pricey, you can get the special color version for a pretty reasonable price. But hey, if it's too much, it's too much. If you want to get the original, I think it's not bad, but it might be a little bit expensive. But if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and comment. And if you want to see more videos, please subscribe. And I'll see you guys whenever I make a next video.